Hi, friends. We are here again with more epic conversations for one-on-one service business owners who need to hear this message.
Oh, yeah.
For all y'all out there who are actually wanting to build a life first business and you're like, why isn't it happening? Why can't I actually be at home with my kids or my partner or travel more or read more or have a hobby for fun or literally insert whatever exciting thing you want to actually spend, I don't know, your life doing?
Right.
Doing these things that we're going to talk about today are the things that are holding you back. So, we're going to cover today the three biggest time wasters holding service providers back from working less hours in their business. And while we go introduce ourselves, I want you to introduce yourself in the comments so we get to meet you, mix and mingle, and find out what you've got going on. So, say hey, let us know your service, your offer, and your 12-month goal in the comments below.
Definitely include your Instagram handle because we'd love to chat with you afterwards. Okay, a little bit about us. I'm Abigail.
And I'm Emylee.
And we're the co-founders of Boss Project. Our mission is truly to inspire, educate, and empower creative small business owners to build a life and business that excels both financially and supports them soulfully. Because we want you getting back into the driver's seat, running forward with a business that aligns with the kind of life you want to live, that aligns with the kind of business you want to live. At the heart, we're a women-owned education company. And over the last 6 years, we've helped tens of thousands of entrepreneurs launch and grow online. And we're really excited to talk to you. We're excited to get to know more about your background. But today we are definitely going to be jumping in. Now, before we jump in, I do want to tell you about this like crazy cool thing we're doing these days.
Have you heard? The applications are open for a private training we're going to be hosting on October 28th. We are so excited for you guys to get your invitation to this private training. The only way for you to do that is to spend a few minutes filling out the application at the link on the screen. And we're also going to be posting it up in the comment section for you as well. bossproject.com/application. Take a couple of minutes, fill that out. I think the average time right now is around 10. So like sit down, just pour a fresh cup of coffee, hammer it out some questions. We're just going to ask you a little bit about the service that you're providing, the goals that you have, just some cool, interesting things about yourself. And then we're going to take that conversation into the DMs to get to know you a little bit more. So see how we can help you reach the life first business that you have in mind.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll talk more about that training later on in this, but tonight,
whatever time it is for you right now, in this moment,
we're going to talk about the time wasters. And one of the biggest ones I see service providers jumping into is definitely, are you ready for it? Doing things manually.
Yeah, we had a really great conversation with some of our clients a couple weeks ago in a coaching session we were doing where I said something about like you're gonna have to lose time to gain time. The thought process around that is we don't understand the drastic effects of losing a little bit of time to gain a massive amount of time that's going to have not only on the literal time that it frees up in your calendar and your day-to-day, but the time that it frees up here. And to me, as a creative service provider, this is the most crucial element that I'm freeing up when I began to look at my business and what areas can I automate? What processes can I set in place? What systems can I utilize on the back end, the front end with delivery, like everything in between? Can I spend some time to gain a heck of a lot of time?
Oh, yeah. The answer is yes, for sure. But here's the thing. I think a lot of business owners are embarrassed to talk about the things that they're doing manually.
We got a couple messages like that last week.
And that's okay. I don't want you to feel like the way you're currently running things is bad or makes you less of a business owner or makes you less professional. Everyone has to start out doing things manually. You have to build the process. And it's okay if where you're at right now means you're actually manually invoicing or sending individual contracts or proposals. That is so common, especially among our applicants. So if you feel that, for sure, definitely apply, because that's something I really am passionate about helping you with. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, because when you go from having things that are very manual, you will find very quickly that you spend the majority of your time setting up these manual things, or communicating with your clients instead of doing the work, instead of doing the thing you started your business, the reason you love your business for,
Yes.
you get away from doing that because you're doing so much manually. So if you're doing that, it's okay. I just want a little hand raise emoji in the
Yeah.
comments, like,
Oh, it's me.
I'm doing some things manually and I'm willing to admit it. It's
And
okay.
it's okay that you're also admitting that your brain doesn't necessarily work in the way to figure out the systems that are needed in order to release you from the manual task. That's okay too, because it doesn't work that way for everyone. But you know what? It works for our brains. And we
Oh,
would
for
love to
sure.
help you figure that out.
Yeah, and if you have any questions about doing things manually, for sure, pop them in the comments. We're happy to answer questions throughout this live. Okay. Anything else to say before I move on? Emylee?
No, because this next one I'm really excited to talk about because boundaries and me could have a discussion all day, every day. And I know Megan, who's on right now, Team Boss Project, could also talk about boundaries all day, every day with y'all. Do you have them? Do they exist? Have you communicated them? Have you identified what they are with yourself first and foremost?
For
This
sure.
is the thing that we're seeing pop up time and time again, where we see so many service providers doing things, everything from literal scratch and identifying what does this client need from me? Okay, now I have a different client. Well, what do they need from me? Instead of really doing a gut check first, okay, if I'm building a life first business, because that's what I say that I want, that's what I need, that's what my family deserves and wants. What does that mean boundary wise for client
Oh, yeah.
communication, for deliverables, for office hours, for the ways that you choose to market yourself and the content that you put out? So many people haven't had that gut check first. So then we have clients that walk all over us, but that happens when we don't communicate those boundaries.
Oh, for sure. And here's the thing with boundaries. I just, first of all, know that the reason you're wasting the time is because you weren't clear.
Right.
And so it's all about clarity and communication.
Yep.
Clarity and communication. And usually this isn't just with clients though. Okay? This is with clients, your team, yourself, your spouse, your kids, your volunteer opportunities, your email inbox, your phone. Like, you have to set boundaries in many places, and sometimes we bend the rules and then we keep bending the rules, and that can get really out of hand really, really fast. But I think the big thing here is, for everyone listening, I want you to get clear in the comments. Tell me a boundary you want to set that you have not been very clear on. Maybe it's that you don't send emails after a certain time. Maybe it's that you have a certain amount of time that it's going to take you to respond to a client question.
Maybe it's how many times you're checking your inbox in a day.
Yeah, these can be boundaries with yourself or things you communicate to other people. It doesn't matter. I want you to get clear on something that you want to set. You know, one of my favorite little boundaries that doesn't sound like it has anything to do with business, but it really makes a difference in how I feel in my household, is making it clear on whose responsibility it is to take care of certain things inside the four walls. And when we have clear boundaries in our marriage, I have more headspace because I'm not also thinking about all the decisions that have to be made to keep my house actually running, right?
Yes. Boundaries are healthy.
Jen,
Yes.
I love you saying, I'm not going to check email after dinner. Don't check email after dinner.
You don't have to. And here's the cool part is, like, you're literally designing your business around the life that you want to live. Maybe some people thrive in that evening time email check
That's
and
okay.
client communication. I just want you to identify that. But if we're hanging out at that time, there's another time in your day where you need to set a boundary that is clear that you're not going to be there. Yes. Oh yeah. Dolly has the boundary with no working on Mondays and Fridays. I love that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I think it's great that that's something you're setting now. I will remind you that once you set these, you have to identify who you need to communicate them with, and or how are you going to hold yourself to that standard?
And there are literal systems and processes that we can also help you put in place because, okay, it's one thing to say, I'm not working on Mondays and Fridays anymore.
Sure.
Oh, but crap, this client deliverable is due. Therefore, I have to work on this Monday. Or like Dolly is saying, like, but lately I've been realizing I've been working nonstop on Mondays and Fridays, and I don't like that I've crossed that boundary for myself. Okay, what is the actual hang up that's preventing you from doing that work or whatever those tasks are on other days, or having it automated, or putting in a process, or why are you doing it? What purpose does it actually serve? Because those boundaries get crossed by ourselves more often than anyone else.
Oh,
And
for
so
sure.
we can set up processes and project management systems and workflows in general for us to have those days where nothing accidentally lands there.
Right. Now, one of the cool things we're going to be doing inside the incubator is really helping our clients set clear boundaries, not only with themselves, but with the people in their lives. Because, this takes time. It takes attention to detail, and it takes a willingness to hold yourself up to this standard. But I just want you to know that the applicants coming in right now over at bossproject.com/application, they truly are, they have the same issues you guys do.
Yeah.
Okay. They have the same desires to live their life first, and to focus on their family, and to focus on what they need, and yet find themselves
Struggling
going
with that
against the thing.
transition to make that happen.
Yeah,
That's
and it
the
takes
conversation.
time. It
Yeah.
takes time. Like, I was talking to an applicant the other evening. She's working 45 to 55 hours a week on client work, and trying to take on her new intensive clients, which is the signature service she wants to transition to.
Mhm.
But she's like, I don't know when I'm going to literally do anything else.
Because there's no other time.
There's no other time. And so, like, part of the boundary setting is putting the guide rails in place to automate some of this stuff so that you're not having to do it all
Yep.
yourself, but then also get that time back, because often we've given it away so much that, like, taking it back, it
Yeah.
feels really difficult. And so know that there's a transition period, and know
Absolutely.
that where you're at right now
And
is
here's the
okay.
crucial part of how we help our clients. You might be thinking, okay, if I set the boundary and if I'm active about implementing that
Sure.
boundary, then my family or my kids or myself or my clients sacrifice, right? They
No.
sacrifice something. That's not how we roll. So it's like, if you don't want to do that thing anymore on this day at that certain time, but it still has to get done, okay, let's figure something out for
Yeah.
that then. Let's actually make this experience even better for your
Oh,
client to
yeah.
go through without you having to be there every second.
Right.
It's not it's one or the other. That's not how this works.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's really crazy to see that what is truly possible when you spend time and attention there. And I feel like Emylee and I have gotten so clear that we're like doing it in every area of our life. And
All of it.
it gets really fun when you get to that point. Now, I will say, this next time waster, it's probably the one that stirred up the internet the most.
Yes. Yes, it has. And it's the one that, I wasn't necessarily surprised, but do you feel like it's like every other or at least 1 in 3 applicants are doing this mistake?
Yeah, I would have to go, like, do the math to try to figure this out, but it's definitely common. It's for sure common. And before we say what it is, I want to say that part of it comes from a good place. Okay. So, like,
The
before
intentions behind it happening are great,
Mhm. But it is sucking so much of your time.
but the consequence of it happening is detrimental to your creativity, your happiness, your mental health, your schedule,
Yeah.
your boundaries,
Yeah.
everything we're talking about.
Oh, for
Okay.
sure. Yeah. So, what is it? So many of our clients and people in this community are
You see my air quotes?
accidentally building 2 different businesses at the same time.
And we say accidentally because you get started doing it thinking that you're going to help achieve a goal for your current business, for the thing that you already have, whether it's financial, time, whatever it might be, right? And then we wake up and we realize um, these aren't to the same audiences. These don't have the same actions that are required to reach the goals that I say that I have. They're requiring two different types of energies and marketing techniques and strategies and brain processes that, holy crap, I wake up one day and I realize I'm literally running two different businesses.
Oh, yes, you are. And
Yeah.
it's
It's okay.
okay.
It's
It's
okay.
okay.
And
And
sometimes it's a great thing that that happens, and we wake up and we realize accidentally that this happened, right? And so we're like, okay, this is when I encourage you to do the gut check, right? Of there's no way to feasibly run two full-time businesses at the same time to reach the same financial goals. They're not also going to feed into each other like we think that they are, like we hope that they are. They're two completely separate different businesses. But what
Mhm.
you can look at this accident as is, okay, well, I was clearly drawn to this for a reason. Is this a new path for me,
Mhm.
or is it a distraction? Some
Yeah.
it could literally go either way for you, and that's a gut check only you can answer.
Mhm. Yeah, and this happens a lot of different ways. It could be different specialties, like you're trying to do too many different kinds of things. It could be too many offers,
Mhm.
like you have too. I was in a team meeting and I was like, you know what? I love these applicants. I'm feeling like some of them have a Cheesecake Factory menu,
Mhm.
and it's really hard because, of course, it's hard to grow a business when you offer everything in the kitchen sink, when
Mhm.
you can do all the things, when you're a general VA, or when you
I call
have
those
this
Jill of all VAs.
or you maybe you do have a specialty, maybe like you are in digital marketing, but you're like, I could do SEO, or I could do ads, or I could do Google, I could do blah, 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 blah,
Mhm.
blah, blah, blah. And like, all of those things are great, but often you're competing with yourself and you're competing with your time. The other way this shows up is you decide the elusive, I
Mhm.
need to diversify.
Or passive income.
I'm sorry, Megan. I'm sorry, Megan, that we're calling you out. I'm sorry, Dolly, that we're calling you out. I feel you. It's okay. I want you to
Mhm.
know that you're not in this alone, and that you can truly get on the other side of this and
Yeah.
feel really good about where things are going. Now, to transition away from accidentally building multiple businesses at the same time to really getting back to what you're great at, getting back to that zone of genius, it does take time. It does take time, but know that we can work on this together. Our whole goal inside the incubator is to help you refine a
Mhm.
high touch signature service where you can charge a premium price tag and walk people through a client experience like you've never witnessed before, and do
Mhm.
it almost exclusively on autopilot.
Yep. 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 Which frees up your time to actually get to enjoy the life that we're all living right
Mhm.
now. I know a lot of our priorities got reshifted in the last couple of years, and I love that for us. I love that for you. I love that for me. And I want to help you in that transition of those new non-negotiables for you. Maybe they feel new, but they've always been there, but they've just gotten stronger. They've just gotten louder, those loud non-negotiables that pop up as we get older and as our lives change and our families grow and as our interests change and as global pandemics happen and make us realize different things about ourselves and our friends and our family and our time. And it can be difficult in that transition to really figure out how to go from there to the new here, right?
Mhm.
And if you're needing help with that, if you're wanting help with that, if you're wanting support with that, I really encourage you to just take a couple minutes to apply. It at least opens up the conversation for us to figure out where you're at right now and where are your goals, and can we help you get to where your new here needs to be.
Right. So, in our live training that is coming up, we are going to be diving into what it truly takes to double your income of your current business, or if you're still working corporate, double that salary. And then how can you do that working less than 20 hours a week? Which if your head just goes all over the screen, I get it. It feels elusive. Like, that would be nice. I'd love to have 20K months and work 20 hours a week. That sounds amazing.
It is amazing.
It's possible for you. And if you're like, literally, how? Okay, send us a DM. Like, let's talk.
Yep.
Go ahead and apply, and then send us a DM, and we're going to talk about what that could look like for you. But we're also going to be diving so much deeper into this private exclusive training. But you do have to be an accepted applicant to attend. And so take the 10 minutes.
Yep. Take the 10 minutes. Now, I have 2 pieces of homework for you. One I want you to do today. The other is happening on Friday. So today, your homework for today is to go to the Strategy Hour podcast. We're going to pop a link in the comments to episode 580 for you. This episode changed, honestly, the life of a lot of people.
Oh, it's
and
true.
it opened up a lot of conversations for a lot of people. And it also had a lot of service providers finally feel heard and understood and related to in a way that you guys haven't before. And I need you to put your earballs in that episode. Okay. So go listen to that one. You can listen to it on Apple or anywhere you listen to podcasts, literally. And then DM us. After you listen, go DM us and tell us your thoughts. Your second piece of homework is to block your calendar for Friday, this coming Friday, at noon, this right around this same time, because we're doing our final live. And this one is going to be big. This one is going to be scandalous. This one is it's going to poke the bear a little bit, but in a good way. And I really encourage you, if you specifically are the person who has said, oh yeah, I'm accidentally building 2 businesses at the same time, I need you to come to this live on Friday. It's built specifically for you.
It's true. Hey, Beth, I actually sent you a DM over on Instagram. It might be in your others folder. So take a look, because I for sure want to talk about your wide variety of offerings and would love to talk about how this could potentially work for you. But we are so excited to see the applicants coming in the door. It has been a little bananas. I just want to congratulate Angela and Siren and Brooke and Audra and Sarah. We have 2 Brooks, Sophia, Melinda, Bonnie. It has been crazy morning. And I am so excited to see all the applicants coming in the door. Just as a reminder, it takes just 10 minutes to apply. And then we are definitely going to be talking more to you over on Instagram. So send us a DM to get the conversation started. We are so excited for you. We want to get that time back. We want to have you stop wasting so much of it doing the 3 things we talked about today.
Yeah.
And we're here for you. And so is the rest of Team Boss Project. If you have any questions, you know where to find us. We'll talk soon.
Bye, friends.